Hi everybody, Otep here. Hi. So, people keep questioning me about leaving the genre and all that. And I just want to say, sorry, my dog wants to be on camera. Here you go, baby. And the other dog wants to be on camera. Hello, honey. Yeah, that's right. So, I posted a video today of some jackholes. Not jackals, but jackholes. Who posted a bunch of homophobic shit on my Facebook. On my Facebook. Mine. It's mine. And, it's infuriating a lot of times because I know for a fact most of them wouldn't say that shit to my face because I literally ran into someone who had called me a faggot 2 days ago. And I saw him, I walked right up to him, and I said, hey, you said you'd say it to my face. Here I am, I'm right here. Say it. They didn't say it. Instead, they tried to hug me, and then they tried to give me dap, and they tried to shake my hand, all this shit. And I was like, no. That wasn't our deal. Our deal was you would say it to my face. They did not. And I was on the phone with actually one of my, I guess he's one of my representatives, I guess I should say. I was on the phone with him. I was like, hold on, dude. And I took my AirPods out, and I left him on the phone, and he heard the whole thing. So he can back it up. This isn't me just exaggerating or talking shit or whatever other people have said about me. I don't talk shit. You people online talk shit. I don't. That's just not who I am. I've never been that way. And people say, why do you want out of this genre so bad? Well, I'm sick to death of being just encumbered by Trump humpers and sexists and homophobic motherfuckers and racists and hillbillies and Confederate flag motherfuckers and wannabe Nazis. I'm just done, man. I've been doing this for 17 years and I'm just done. I'm done. I don't want this is supposed to be fun, right? When your dream comes true, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be work. There's gonna be obstacles, of course, always. But it's supposed to be fucking fun. It's not supposed to be this, and I guess if I didn't care enough about my fans to read comments, maybe it wouldn't bother me so much. Like a lot of other bands they don't read comments, they don't pay attention to the fans. They just post shit and then they go out and they make their money and they take your money whether they agree with you or not on your political stance or anything like that. But when you call me, see, a lot of people don't understand I hate saying the word because that was one of the things that the person who I ran into said to me. Oh, but I'm really gay. I can say faggot. No, you can't. You can't say that word. Nobody can say that word. Faggot means to be burned at the stake because that's what they used to do to gay people back in the Middle Ages, back even before that. Faggots meant a bundle of sticks, and a bundle of sticks kindling basically to start a bonfire. And when it was fun for them to grab sodomites, what they called this back then, and burn them at the stake. So when you call me a faggot, you're wishing death upon me. And how am I supposed to take that? Just words? Just words? What if somebody? Am I supposed to just do the same thing if somebody says they're gonna shoot me? Or they're gonna come stab me? I'm just supposed to dismiss that too? A lot of y'all ignore the trolls, don't feed the trolls. No, somebody is legitimately saying they're going to stab me or burn me at the stake or they wish death upon me. You best believe I'm gonna take that seriously. I report it, I do everything I'm supposed to do, but if I see them, I'm gonna challenge them on it. Because if they're bold enough to fucking say this shit, then they're bold enough to catch one of these hammers of Thor right here. And look, underestimate me all you motherfucking want. That's to your peril, assholes. Y'all talk all this shit all you want. There's former band members who talk shit about how tough they are and all this stuff. I ain't never seen one of them in a fight. Not one. Not one. In fact, when the fight was about to go down, those motherfuckers ran or conveniently walked away really slowly. They weren't ever there. They were never there. And if they did, it was they would show up with like marks and shit all over them and crying and like, why are you crying? You're a grown man. But women are supposed to be more sensitive than men. Man, fuck that myth. Women are stronger than men. Men couldn't have babies. No disrespect to all my male fans out there, but what the fuck are y'all talking about? How many, just on inequality alone, how many laws are there that restrict male sexuality? And I don't mean sexual identity. I'm talking about their ability to have sex, their ability to procreate. How many laws are on the books? 0. Women's bodies are more regulated than male bodies, and that's a fact. So, anyway, there is this toxic masculinity, this fragile identity that these people are clinging to, and they're terrified of losing this superiority, right? They're terrified of it. And they hate strong women. They hate when strong women speak out. That's why they hated Hillary Clinton. That's why they still hate Hillary Clinton, even though she was the most qualified person to ever run for president in the history of the United States, male or female. She also had, I think, the widest margin of win of a presidential candidate in the popular vote, like in the top three in the entire history of the United States. When someone posts a picture and it's like all this red in the middle of the country, and then all the blue parts are the most densest parts of the United States. Land can't vote. A lot of that land is empty. Cattle can't vote, even though they probably should, because if they did, they'd shut down factory farms. But my point is this: there were so many people who are on my Facebook who claim to be fans of mine, who claim to be allies. They saw those posts. And y'all said nothing. You didn't defend it. You didn't talk about it. You didn't do anything. You just let this motherfucker say all this bullshit about me. And yet you just let it happen. And then some people I posted a video of it before he got blocked and banned and reported to Facebook. And they're like, what's his link to his Instagram or his Facebook? It's like, it's in the fucking video. What are you just reading the caption? You're not looking at the video? Look at the fucking video. His name is literally in the video. I mean, what is wrong? I hate spoon feeding people. It just drives me crazy. I've been trying to teach people how to, when I'm not doing music, I try to teach people how to be activists, how to stand up for yourselves. And people say, why feed the trolls? Why give them attention? Because you know what? There is no, they talk about, oh, look how, she's being so mean and she's supposed to be part of the tolerant left. We've never been tolerant of intolerance. We've never been tolerant of racist, homophobic, sexist colostomy bags, ever. And we never will be. And right now, in this era, under Cheeto Shitler, we definitely can't be silent anymore. We can't let these hate bullshit go by. And unfollow me. I don't give a fuck. I haven't given a fuck. And people say you're dwindling fan base. Really? Because I've sold millions of records, and I can take a year off from work, and I work my ass off 6 months a year where I'm not even at home. I don't get to see my family or my friends or my own bed or anything. I've been doing that for 17 years, 6 months a year, basically, touring the world and touring the United States and North America. I put in my dues. So I can brag about that because I've worked hard about that. Just like you would brag about it if you worked hard. I ain't read none of your comments, so you can stop commenting. I should have fucking turned those goddamn comments off, because I don't want to hear from anybody. I just don't. I'm tired of it. I'm really fucking tired of it. I didn't get into music to have people call me faggot on Facebook because they don't like my politics, or they don't like the fact that I get more pussy than them, or the fact that I get prettier girls than them. I can't help that. That's not my fault. That's your fault. You ain't got no game. That's not my fault. Sorry if I'm more charming than you. I'm sorry if girls want to have actually like multiple orgasms. I'm sorry about that. That's why they come to the king. But I tend to take breaks from Facebook for a while, because this is where it happens the most. I don't get this kind of shit on Twitter. I don't get this shit on Instagram. It's only on Facebook. And so I'll take a break, and then every now and then I'll dip back in to see, like, is it a better, is the atmosphere changed? Nope. Still the same old shit. Still the same old assholes who still perpetuate the lie that I'm evil to local bands, which is not true. I don't have anything, like, I don't even have anything I'm in the bus, or I'm at the gym, or I'm doing interviews, or I'm doing meet and greets, and that's it. I have administrative people. I have a tour manager, I have a security guard, I have a merch manager, I have a stage manager, I have a tech, I have a lighting manager, and I have a sound guy. All those people are buffers between me and the club and the venue and the local bands and everything else. And usually it's the venue, and they'll use me as an excuse to, like, get local bands out, because a lot of local bands are amazing, and we try to keep as many locals on. I mean, shit, we used to play Harpo's of Detroit. We'd have 9 local bands on. If I hated local bands, I'd be like, cut that shit, because I had the power to do it, because I'm the headliner. Never did I do that. People said that one guy who made a big to-do on Facebook about how he was told to leave the venue and set up outside in the rain, and then we contacted the promoter, and the promoter, who never likes to get involved in this shit, actually issued a statement that said, no, that never happened. And then the dude finally admitted, the guy in the local band finally admitted, yeah, I was lying. But yet nobody remembers that, right? They just remember, oh, OTEP did this. Well, you know what? The band name is OTEP. So how about you ask if OTEP Shemaya said that instead of the band OTEP did that? Because that's really where a lot of this confusion comes from. And if my people are using me as a means to get their way, then they're doing it wrong. You know, then they're ineffective. And I need to know about it, and people should be contacting me about it. Send me a direct message. Contact, not on Facebook. I don't check DMs on Facebook, but send me a DM on Twitter. Send me a DM on Instagram. If it ever happens again. I don't think I'm gonna ever tour again at this point, under these circumstances, because I just don't want to fucking do it. Y'all are gonna make me put, people like this are just like, I'm gonna get so mad, I'm gonna either hurt a lot of motherfucking people, because I just the way my brain works, I can't forgive. I just don't. So I'm either gonna run into somebody that's like, hey, I'm the one who called you a faggot. Pop, motherfucker down. Medic. And then I'm, but why I do that? Why I gotta do that? Just to create art? Why? And then if I pull away too much and I seclude myself so that I'm not subject to that kind of shit, people say, oh, she thinks she's too good, she don't hang out with fans. I mean, there's always, like, everybody criticizes everything without knowing the truth. And that's why I kind of do these live videos, so that people understand the truth. People understand there's a reason. One, I seclude myself because of my voice, because I want my voice to be good for every show, not just at the beginning of the tour, every fucking show. So I have to not talk. And I am quite loquacious, as you can see. I do like to talk. So I will, and it's lonely as fuck. I sit in the back room, sit with my dogs, I watch fucking MSNBC, or I watch a movie, or I'm doing vocal warm-ups and vocal cool-downs, or I'm at the gym, or I'm fucking doing interviews. And, sometimes we got to tell people to be quiet while I'm doing interviews, because the club brilliantly put the green room right next to the stage. And they don't have an interview room. Like, you would think they would have, like, a room set aside, maybe their office or something like that set aside for interviews, make it look real cool, promote your club, put a banner in the back or something like that. Nah, they don't think about that. All they want is your money. That's all they want. They want you to buy beer. They want you to buy liquor. They want you to buy tickets. They give a fuck about anything else. That's why the bathrooms are always shitty. I mean, it's like, it's madness. It's true madness, And so the fact is, I don't have to do music. I make a good living at voiceover work, and in other areas of my life, I make a good living. I do music because I love it. I do music because it helps save me, and I know that it's helped save a lot of you. That's the reason why I stay in music. Not because of the shady, shifty, corrupt fucking record labels there's 3, maybe 4 record labels now that haven't paid me in over a decade. A decade. They're keeping that money because in order for me to get it, I got to get forensic accountants, I got to sue them, and they're all in different states, some of them are in different countries. Like, it's all bullshit. Like, there's so much drama and so much bullshit that's all intertwined within in this particular genre, especially. They just take mad advantage of bands, and hoping that the bands don't care enough about it. All the bands want to do is get drunk and get laid and all that. But you know, besides being an artist, I was raised around scholars, and so I'm a businesswoman, you know, as well. You know, so I've diversified my income streams, which has allowed me to maintain when I want to take a year off or whatever. But also I make good money in the music business, thanks to all of you, thanks to the supporters. But it's not. Is it worth like some asshole calling me a faggot and then like people say, oh, just ignore it. Why? Because if he's gonna do that to me, he's gonna do it to somebody else that might not be as strong as me mentally and emotionally. I'm not even talking physically. I'm just talking like there was a middle school kid who killed himself because he was outed as being bisexual and was bullied so bad he just killed himself. This just happened. I'm not talking 2 years ago or a year ago or even 5 years ago. I'm talking about this. This happened this month. Kids are being killed, and I'm supposed to. As a representative, as an elder in the tribe of the LGBTQ community, it is my duty, it is my oath to stand up for those kids. And if you're a heterosexual ally, it's your duty as well to not let anybody be bullied and to hold these kids who don't learn that shit on their own. They're taught it. You're not taught to be a bigot. You're not taught to hate. You learn that shit. You're taught that shit. Religion is a choice. Being who you are, being gay is not. Being a bigot is a choice. You know, so is compassion, so is kindness. And that's what they should be teaching. Tolerance and understanding. One thing that I will never be tolerant of is intolerance. I won't be tolerant of racists. I won't be tolerant of homophobic motherfuckers or sexist or rapist apologists. I won't be tolerant of any of that shit ever in my life. And if you don't like that, fucking unfollow me. I don't need you anymore. I never needed you. I don't need you now, especially. And I don't want you. I don't want you wearing an OTEP shirt and espousing these kind of beliefs. That's bullshit. I don't want that. You taint me. You stain the movement that I've started 17 years ago. Almost 20 years in this business, and y'all still talking, and you motherfuckers still talking shit about how I ain't got no career. Where are the bands at that you like the most? Where they at? Them bands now sending me, these giant bands that people used to love and that used to talk shit about me would never give me a spot on touring with them because they said, oh, OTEP needs to calm tone. Like I don't know, I can't count how many times my managers got calls that said OTEP needs to, when we were on tour with other bands as direct support, OTEP needs to tone her show down because she's too heavy for our band. What? Instead of elevating your shit, you're going to tell me to tone down my shit? Would never do it. And that's why we don't get a lot of direct support slots, because people don't want to play with us because it's hard to go on after us. And I've never told a band like, hey, stop being so good, like that opened for me. I've never done that. In fact, I've applauded it. Because I want, especially female-fronted bands. I've always wanted them to succeed, and I know people try to bring up this beef between me and the Butcher Babies, and I explained that on my last live video. The reason why it all started was because my guitar player at the time was having an affair with Carla, who was married, and I considered that guitar player my brother. And even though she was lying to him, saying that the marriage was over and all this shit, and it was an open marriage, and I knew she was lying, and I stepped away. And they took that as a direct insult because they allegedly worshipped me and all this stuff. But dude, then loyalty is everything to me. Why would you do that? Why would you fucking do that to my man? And then of course what happened? She never left her husband. Now she eventually did. Now she's with somebody else, but she didn't leave her for my guitar player. Sorry, ex-guitar player. So, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it, and I'm tired of people telling me not to feed the trolls, and I'm tired of people telling me to leave people alone. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm not going to do it. If anything, it's just going to get worse for them. It's just going to get a lot worse for them. Because every fucking day, people, especially now that Trump's under impeachment hearings and all this shit, because he did violate his oath of office, and he did reach out. Now we're learning, not only did he reach out to the Ukraine, he reached out to Boris from Great Britain, he reached out to Australia, I think I'm pretty sure he reached out to the Saudis. I mean, he tried to get opposition research from a foreign country. That is illegal. That's illegal. And as they start to see their president, which shows you if that's who they think is a good character of a human being, as they start to see him get more in trouble, they're going to get louder and more aggressive, and they're a very small minority, a very, very small. Remember, he lost by 3 million fucking votes. That's 3 million more fucking people, and that's just counting Hillary. That's not counting all the people that voted for someone else. So those people are just going to get angrier, and they're going to get more, homophobic, more racist, more sexist, and I'm not going to let that stand. I'm just not. Especially not on my Facebook. You can espouse all the shit you want. First Amendment, sure. Espouse all that shit you want on your own. But, I'm not, you can't come in my house and do that in my house. That's like somebody walking in your house and wiping mud on your carpet, and then being like, sorry, I didn't invite you in, motherfucker. I didn't tell you to wipe your feet on my fucking floor. What would you do? You gonna just let them get away with that? This is my digital home. This is where I live. This is where I'm able to communicate with my fans, and I'm just not. Now I am impressed, and I will give some credit to a lot of you guys who have been standing up to a lot of these trolls, and y'all been just dragging them. I fucking love watching it. It's so fucking funny, especially when y'all are just beating them down with facts too, or just sarcasm and destroying their arguments. It's really it's a beautiful thing to see. It's like the mother hawk pushing her babies out of the nest and watching her babies soar high. That's what I really enjoy that very, very much, because eager stupidity needs to end. Invincible ignorance is never going to end, but at least it needs to be put in its place, and that place is in the sewer. And that's what these motherfuckers need to crawl back and go to. So, anyway, I posted the video about it, and about this guy. He's been banned, he's been blocked, he's been reported, and anybody else that does it is going to get the same shit. And I encourage all of you to do the same. But don't expect me to stick around in a fucking genre where I'm under constant fucking attack just for being who I am. Why? When I could go to their page and I say if I go to their page and I look at their shit and I'm like, damn, I can make all kinds of assumptions on what you do for a living or who you married or who you're dating or any of that shit. I don't go to your page and talk shit, but you come to mine and talk shit about me. Why? Just because I'm a musician? Just because I make songs? Maybe you don't like my songs anymore. So what? That's what MP3s are for, motherfucker. That's what CDs are for. Some of y'all still listen to CDs, which is madness to me. But that's what vinyl's for. That's what records are for. That's what YouTube's for. That's what Vivo's for. You can go back and listen to all my records, my whole discography, all 8 albums, all of them. You can go back and listen to whichever one you liked. When I wrote Seven Straw, people came out and said, stop whining about Jonestown Tea. That's some girl crying because she got raped and all this shit. There was trouble from day one from people who were talking shit. And then suddenly those people became great fans. And then when I put out House of Secrets, you sold out, you wrote this concept album, I hate it. And then I wrote the 3rd record, and people say, I love House of Secrets, this is nothing like House of Secrets, I can't stand it, Otep sold out. Then I wrote the next record, this is not anything like the previous record. It's just like this constant barrage of shit. And in the meantime, I'm supposed to be, staying creative, staying sane, trying to stay, happy in a business where you're constantly criticized over what? For the shit I make. Can you do it? If you can, then do it. If you can stop, critics criticize, right? They don't, but that's because they can't create. If you can do it, and you can get signed. I got signed after 4 shows, no demo, to Capitol Records. There was a bidding war going on. That's what happened to me. If you can do that, then do it. If you can go out and you can make all those and you can stay on the road for 17 years, 6 months out of the year, and lose friends, lose family members, not see your house for 6 months out of the year, be my fucking guest. Do it. Show me how it's done, motherfuckers. Write 8 albums in an ever evolving genre, in an ever dissolving music industry, and stay relevant and still sell records and still get hits on radio. My last album, we scored 4 top 40 hits. 4. My social media right now, I'm not even on tour, and last week our outreach was 101 million people. This week I think it's 14 million people. The drop is because I stopped posting so much. That's why. But their arguments are just bullshit. You know, they're just bullshit. I ignore most of that. I do. But when someone comes to me and they call me a faggot and people say, why I feed the trolls? I ain't feeding the trolls. I'm fucking them up. That's what I'm doing. I'm fucking up the trolls. You know, they come hungry. They come looking for food. But all they ever find is me. And I'm not tasty, I'll tell you that. That shit is, I'm spicy in a motherfucker. You know? So, anyway, thanks for listening to me rant and ramble. I appreciate you guys. I love all the supporters. Thank you so much for all your love and for being there for me, and those of you who are schooling a lot of these idiots, these morons, these MAGA morons, and Trump supporters, Trump loafer lickers, Cheeto shitler, fucking Trump humper, cousin fucking motherfuckers, everything that I say about little Mr. Tiny Hands, Mr. Impeached. Thank you. Thank you for standing up. Thank you for, speaking your mind and speaking for truth and speaking for justice, and I appreciate it, and it's a fucking lovely thing to watch, I'll tell you that. But anyway, to all you haters out there, take that with you. Your mother should have swallowed. Everybody else, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. All right.